Approximately 7.5 million people in the United States have trouble using their voices. Reese Barnes, an 8-year-old student in Bernie, California, is just one of them. He meets with a speech therapist every week. He walks down the hallway of his rural school and chats with her one-on-one, even though she is 4 hours away in another part of the state. Reese has one of the most commonly known communication disorders. Reese stutters. According to the American Speech Language Hearing Association, also known as ASHA, a communication disorder is an impairment in the ability to receive, send, process, and comprehend concepts or verbal, nonverbal, and graphic symbol systems. Communication disorders can vary in severity from mild to profound. They may be evident in speech, language, and/or hearing processes. The quality of life for adults and children with communication disorders, along with their family members, can be greatly affected. Speech-language pathologists and audiologists are individuals who evaluate, diagnose, and treat those individuals with communication disorders. Speech-language pathologists face various challenges when trying to assess and treat individuals with communication disorders. Being able to facilitate equal access to services and providing appropriate services with the changing economy is one challenge a speech pathologist faces. Telerehabilitation is a fairly new field. It was first introduced in 1997 when the National Institute of Disability and Rehabilitation Research issued a set of proposed priorities for a new rehabilitation engineering research center in the area of what was called telerehabilitation. For those of you who do not know, the prefix tele is derived from the Greek word tele, which means distant or remote. Therefore, telerehabilitation is providing service to individuals from a distance. Telerehabilitation, or telespeech, has the potential to deliver services to clients who are homebound or to a local community via video conferencing and through interactive, computer-based therapy activities. Telespeech therapy has the ability to optimize outcomes of clients by providing treatment that is within the person's everyday environment. Before telespeech services hit the market, patients in schools were limited by proximity. SLPs can be few and far in between in rural areas because there are rarely enough patients to sustain a practice. Instead, they tend to set up practice in population centers. This can make finding a therapist difficult and also limit the choice to whichever therapist is close enough to be practical. Because of today's economy, the demand for speech-language pathologists is growing. Increased caseloads and lack of speech pathologists able to provide appropriate services for specific disorders suggests an alternate or additional mode of delivery of services to the growing population. Due to the evolution of technology, earlier use of the telephone, closed-circuit television, and satellite-based video conferencing is slowly being replaced by internet video conferencing from a personal computer, which most individuals have access to. Due to the lack of speech-language pathologists available, many schools are using online speech therapy for their students. Janet Brown, the Director of Health Services and Speech-Language Pathology for ASHA, says that online speech therapy is growing. However, schools need to provide the right equipment, including computers with high-speed internet and webcams. In some cases, an aide or parent may be needed to supervise the child while they meet with their therapist. Students getting online therapy account for a sliver of the more than 1.1 million children ages 6 to 17 with a speech or language disorder. This is especially useful for those regions of the country that are remote or rural. These districts have a hard time recruiting teachers and even a bigger struggle hiring speech-language pathologists. Allowing the students to work with therapists who are typically located out of state resolves this problem. In conclusion, telerehabilitation has a bright future in the world of speech-language pathology. Fears of replacing speech-language pathologists can be settled because not only do jobs still remain, but this new age of technology allows them to experience exciting opportunities that may not have been available before. A number of studies conducted over many years have shown that testing and therapy that can be administered by a speech-language professional in face-to-face interaction can be as effectively handled with distant communication, especially given modern technology like tablet-style computers with touch screens and targeted speech-language pathology programs.